Are we going to be a country that builds things? We're going to be a country that builds things? I mean, one of the greatness of America is that we build things that nobody else can. I mean, we're renowned for it. I mean, people talk about America and our ability to build things. That's what this is all about. Because if we can't get permitted, we can't build things. So if we're going to have a NEPA process that takes 4 and 5 years, not only does that delay it, that means, sometimes delays defeat. That means we might never build it. Or if we do build it, what does it do to the cost? If you have to spend 5 years or longer trying to permit something, what does it do to the cost? Drives it up, doesn't it? So, again, it's like Ronald Reagan used to say, if you want less of something, tax it or regulate it. Well, that's exactly what's going on. We're making sure we're going to have less infrastructure, right? So here we are fighting inflation. And we're making it harder to produce the goods, the services, to bring the energy to market, the pipelines, the transmission lines, the roads, the bridges, all the things that will help alleviate these supply chain bottlenecks, all the things that will help us bring down inflation. The administration's doing just the opposite. They're making sure that they're raising taxes and increasing the regulation and spending more that just keeps driving inflation higher. And inflation's the cruelest tax of all. That's a tax that hits the low-income people the hardest. And they just keep doing it. They just keep doubling down on tax, spend, regulate. Tax, spend, regulate. And inflation just keeps going up. And we don't just have inflation now, we have stagflation. Senator Portman talked about a lot of you have never seen inflation this high that are younger, and that's true. But you've never seen stagflation because it's been over 40 years. And the administration has not only produced that stagflation, they're making it worse. And this is a great example. We've got a pipeline in North Dakota, Dakota Access Pipeline, moves more than 500,000 barrels of oil a day to markets around this country. The highest quality light sweet crude that we need at the pump so people aren't paying $5 a gallon and more. And we're not having to go to our adversaries like OPEC and others to get it. We produce it right here at home. That pipeline has been under a NEPA review for 5 years. For 5 years. And it's still in the NEPA process. And if they decide to shut it down, that's more than 500,000 barrels of our domestic crude that we're not going to have at the pump. Now you tell me, will that help the price of gas at the pump? Will that make it lower or higher? Well, obviously it'll make it higher. Right now we're producing about 11.5 million barrels a day domestically. We were producing 13 million barrels a day. The president talks about letting oil out of the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. Just shutting down these kind of projects will take far more of our domestic supply out of the market. At the same time, he's telling people that when they go fill their truck or their pickup truck or their car at the pump, he's trying to help them. I'd say not. I'd say the facts speak otherwise. And this is a clear example. And so I hope our colleagues will join with us in this CRA, Congressional Review Act, and knock down this regulation. Recognize that this regulation, whether it's an EIS, environmental impact statement, or an environmental assessment, it will take longer. Not maybe. It will take longer, it will cost more, and it will kill a lot of projects that we need right now.